So, good morning, students. Today we are going to see about. Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about vapor compression refrigeration cycle. Okay. So, you all know the term refrigeration. Okay. So, refrigeration is nothing but process of removing heat from a substance under controlled conditions. Okay. We are removing the heat from a substance under controlled environment. So that we call it as refrigeration. Okay. So it is also a process of reducing heat. Okay, and maintaining the temperature. Okay, in plain words we can say that it is a process of reducing heat and maintaining the temperature of a body below the general temperature of its surroundings. Okay, generally the temperature is maintained below the temperature of its surroundings. Okay, so that we call it as refrigeration. Okay, so today we are going to see about the vapor compression system. Vapor compression system or vapor compression cycle. So in this cycle we are going to see different components. What are the components that are present in the vapor compression cycle, and the function of the components and the function of the components. Okay, so as the figure indicates, we are having number four principal components. The first one is the evaporator. So the evaporator is the place where refrigeration is taking place. Okay, so it is the compartment where we are going to maintain the temperature below the surrounding temperature. So that is the place. Okay, that is the evaporator. And the compressor, you all know, so it is used to compress the refrigerant. Okay, it is used to compress the refrigerant. Okay, so refrigerant is nothing but um, it's like a blood. Okay, in our vein system. Okay, it's like a blood in our vein system, uh, that is compressed in the compressor. That is, the refrigerant is compressed in the next one is the condenser. So condenser is used to change the phase of the refrigerant. Okay, compressor condenser is nothing but it is the component where we're going to change the phase of the refrigerant. Okay, so the fourth one is the expansion valve. So in here we are going to reduce the pressure. Okay, in the expansion valve we are going to reduce the pressure of the refrigerant, whatever the pressure that is experienced in the evaporator. Okay, that is the function of the expansion valve. Okay, so vapor compression refrigeration. So here are some important points. So highly compressed fluids tend to get colder when allowed to expand. Okay, so that is the natural phenomena. So highly compressed fuel tend to get colder. Okay, it gets tend to get colder whenever the whatever the fluid, if you are going to compress that particular fluid to higher pressures. Okay, so when it is expanded, it tends to become cold. If pressure high enough, pressure is high enough, compressed air hotter than source of cooling. Okay, compressed air is nothing but hotter than source of cooling. Expanded gas cooler than desired cold temperature. Expanded gas cooler than desired cold temperature. So these are some important points regarding vapor compression refrigeration. Okay, so the two advantage of vapor compression refrigeration, let us see one by one. So a lot of heat can be removed. Okay, a lot of heat can be removed. It's nothing but a lot of thermal energy to change liquid to vapor. Okay, second one is the heat transfer rate remains high. Okay, heat transfer rate remains high, so that means temperature of working fluid much lower than what is being cooled. So these are the advantages of vapor compression refrigeration. So this layout is a simple layout of a vapor compression refrigeration cycle. Okay, it's a simple layout. So you can see, uh, so this particular layout is divided into two parts. So divided into two parts, as you can see. So the high pressure side and the low pressure side. Okay, see whatever uh, the components that are present above the compressor, that we can be uh, differentiated as the high pressure side, and the evaporator side is the low pressure side. So the important components of a vapor compression refrigeration system is the evaporator, where we are going to obtain the actual cooling space. Okay, so it is the compartment where you are going to store our food items, where heat is removed from those food items. Okay, so then comes the compressor. So it is the purpose. The compressor is used to compress the refrigerant to a higher pressure. So after the refrigerant is compressed, it goes to the higher pressure side, then it moves to the condenser. Okay, then it is given to the expansion valve. uh, then the refrigerant moves to the evaporator, where it removes the heat, and again it is given to the compressor. So it is the simple form of a refrigeration cycle or vapor compression cycle with various components, as well as it indicates the high pressure side and the low pressure side. Okay, so vapor compressor. Let us see the function of individual components. Let us see the function of the individual evaporator. So no low pressure liquid refrigerant in the evaporator absorbs heat and changes to a gas. Okay, so as the statement uh, indicates, okay, low pressure liquid refrigerant. Okay, so that is, that means we are giving liquid, low pressure liquid refrigerant to the evaporator. Okay, whatever the substance that are present in the evaporator, okay, gives heat to this particular low pressure refrigerant, then it is converted into gas. That is nothing but the refrigerant, the liquid, low pressure liquid refrigerant, when it passes through the evaporator, it absorbs heat and it gets converted into gas. Okay, but the refrigerant that is given to the evaporator is normally in low pressure liquid form. Okay, so so this is the uh, this figure indicates the actual actual part of a evaporator. That is, uh, this is how a evaporator looks in a domestic refrigeration system. Okay, so then comes the compressor. Okay, then comes the compressor, pressure, where it pressure is raised. That means low pressure liquid refrigerant enters the evaporator. In the evaporator, it absorbs the heat and it gets converted into superheated vapor. But the only condition is the pressure is low. That superheated low pressure vapor is given to the compressor to convert into high pressure vapor. So that is the function done by the refrigerator. Okay, so then comes the condenser. Okay, so from the compressor, the output of the compressor is high pressure vapor refrigerant. That high pressure vapor refrigerant is given to the condenser. Okay, so in the condenser, the refrigerant, high pressure vapor refrigerant, is condensed and converted into liquid form. Okay, it is only get condensed, but the pressure is not reduced. You must note that the pressure is not reduced. Okay, so then comes the expansion valve. Okay, so at the outlet of the condenser, what is the condition of the refrigerant? The refrigerant condition is high pressure liquid. That high pressure liquid refrigerant is given to the expansion valve. So when it passes through the expansion valve, okay, it pressure it pressures reduces. So what is the reduction of pressure? What is the value of reduction of pressure? The pressure reduction will be equal to the evaporator pressure. Okay, so the liquid high pressure refrigerant, when passes through the expansion valve, what will happen? Okay, it reduces its pressure. That means the refrigerant loses its pressure. That pressure will be equal to the evaporator pressure. That refrigerant is given to the evaporator for cooling purpose. Okay, so that's how a simple vapor compression refrigeration system works. Okay, so now let us see the different types of refrigerants. So refrigerant that is used in a vapor compression cycle. Okay, type of refrigerant determined by the required cooling temperature. Okay, so whatever that cooling temperature you want to acquire, according to that requirement you have to choose your refrigerant. Okay, so chlorinated fluorocarbons, okay, CFCs, or ferrans, sorry, or freons, that is R11, R12, R21, R22, and R502. Okay, so these are the types of refrigerants that we are using for obtaining cooling temperature in various refrigerating systems. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. With this, I will conclude my session.